slow moving around this morning, certainly, due to the snowy weather forecast out there. But it's not stopping Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch from getting out and about in the city. How are you, Mayor?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Joe?
Okay. How's the city doing at this surprise snowfall?
Doing fine. All the mains are good, and all the schools were all scraped and salted just prior to school. So this is one of those lingering pain in the neck type storms. So we'll deal with it. We got a good department. Not concerned.
Just enough to be annoying. Exactly.
That's right.
Certainly a much more serious issue over the weekend with the coastal flooding. I wonder if you could explain a little bit about what happened and how the city responded.
So we had historic high tides once again, the king tide, in addition to the surge that was happening with the ocean storm, et cetera. So, I mean, the North Shore of Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine took a much bigger beating than we did, certainly from the public infrastructure side. However, a number of people did get a few inches or 6 inches of water in their basements, and that's always that's no fun. I mean, there's some that are prepared for that and they keep everything up. There's others that doesn't happen that frequently. You forget about it, and all of a sudden you're throwing out appliances and clothing, et cetera, because of the way it's stored. So, we worked all weekend, and we helped pump neighborhoods and took care of business, but it wasn't nearly as devastating as 2018. If you recall, we lost the Broadmeadows boiler room and electrical panels. Everything went under. Of course, when we fixed everything, we put everything above ground level instead of below ground level, so that shouldn't happen again. Same thing with the Kennedy Center. So, when you go through these events, you make decisions that you learn from, and hopefully these things don't happen again. So, unfortunately, this seems to be the way of the world now, and we're going to continue to work our coastal resiliency plan, our seawall upgrades, and can't happen fast enough.
Yeah, which areas were impacted, Mayor?
Well, it was, it kind of came into the marsh like it did in 18, rather than over the seawall. So, the area of the Cove and Howe's Neck and Hunter Street, Pawsey Street, those areas took a pretty good beating. I'm sure other places around the city that we don't even know about got some water in their basements, and people took care of it. The beauty was we didn't have a whole lot of rain, so the West Quincy and the tributary all along Furnace Brook was fine. That was flowing because we had the tire gates closed at Blacks Creek, and we had plenty of capacity, so there's no backup or issues there, which was a good thing. If we had a few inches of rain at that same time, that could have been more problematic for a number of those neighborhoods, but it could have been a lot worse. Yeah.
Any public infrastructure damage?
No, we were on top of everything, and the DPW guys, they checked things. I was out and about and saw there was a problem at Post Island there must have been something jammed in the tide gate because water was coming up out of the manhole, things like that. You got to constantly maintain these and watch these things. So, sticks, logs, debris gets into these systems, and it can wreak havoc. So we got a good department. They stay on top of it. We know where we have to be at the different events, and appreciate all the work the city personnel does on this stuff.
Sure, absolutely. Yesterday, of course, the city brought back the Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast for the first time in 3 years. How did that go?
Ian Kane was our guest speaker, the city council president. He did an outstanding job. We had a nice little turnout, maybe 60 or 70 people. We had the ROTC involved. We had the Quincy High Select Choir, a couple of kids that did the national anthem. So it was well attended, and a nice message from Council President Kane.
Mm-hmm. What was your message, Mayor?
Well, that's to the guest speaker, but I closed with essentially that people talked a lot about Dr. Martin Luther King and the politics of it, when in reality he was a Baptist minister. First and foremost, he came to his beliefs based on his faith, and they talked about the two major commandments that he used to talk about was, when the Lord was asked, what's the greatest commandment? Love your God with all your heart, your mind, your soul, and right next to that is love your neighbor. He didn't say black, white, Asian. He said love your neighbor. We're all neighbors. So I think that was the message. I think that Dr. King would be proud about some things that have occurred since his death, and I probably think be upset by the last few years with some of the violence that went on, because he was a man of peace. And he accomplished a tremendous amount of change, without lifting a gun or a bully club or his fist.
Finally, Mayor, we need to talk a little bit about a community meeting being held tomorrow night regarding plans for new Squantum Elementary School.
Indeed, yes, we'll be presenting to the community. We had an initial meeting back in early fall, I believe it was, and we took a lot of comments and suggestions from folks, and so that will be the meeting at Squantum. Will kind of be a result of the initial meeting we had, and it also update the neighborhood and where we are at the school building authority. There are a number of steps that we have to take that's part of the process. Even though I think we all know it's going to be a new school, you still have to go through the process of doing the alternates. Can it be rehabbed, and why not? Those kinds of things. So we'll have a couple of alternates to show the neighborhood. It obviously won't be as long in length as the old school. We're looking at going a couple of stories and shorten it up. But overall, there's a number of issues we'll have to address at the same time, Joe. Like there's some drainage issues around there, some road widening, updates on utilities, and so overall, it's a bigger project than just the school. But I think that the neighborhood will be pleased.
There is a special website, actually, squantumschool.com, that folks can go to and get regular updates and see where the process stands. Have we had a percentage agreement from the state, Mayor, and how much the reimbursement will be?
I don't know that one's been assigned yet.
Okay.
I don't think it will be as healthy as some of our school buildings. And in reality, what's happened, Joe, is there's a lot more school districts applying, and they're trying to spread the money out a little bit more. But it will probably be minimum 50%.
Okay,
is my guess. I think the last one was 63%. So it's all good. It's all good.
Very good. Always good to talk to you, Mayor. Be careful out there.
You also. Thanks, Joe.
Yep. Bye-bye.